What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back. In today's video we are checking out the Xiaomi 13 and seeing how it compares to the Samsung Galaxy S23. Now of course the Xiaomi 13 is slightly cheaper than the Samsung Galaxy S23 even though they do have very similar specs. So both devices are using the same chipset. We have the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 inside the Xiaomi 13 and of course inside the Samsung Galaxy S23. Now my S23 does have 8 gigs of RAM where my Xiaomi 13 does have 12 gigs of RAM, so something to keep in mind. For those of you that like benchmark scores, I ran the Antutu benchmark on both devices and we do get pretty similar scores. But you've probably noticed that the Samsung Galaxy S23 does get slightly warmer while running that test. However, I haven't actually noticed a difference for real life usage. So if you're playing a game, if you're on social media, both devices get equally warm. So I can't really say that one is so much better than the other one. Both devices do have 256 gigs of internal storage, and the storage speeds are also quite similar. So very similar devices in many ways. Alright, so let's start this comparison by checking out what comes in the boxes with both devices. So I do have the boxes right here, and as you can see the box from the Xiaomi 13 is much bigger. So in the box of the Samsung Galaxy S23 you're basically gonna find a cable. That's pretty much it. Where in the box of the Xiaomi 13, even though the Xiaomi 13 is the cheaper device out of the two, you're gonna find a 67-watt fast charger. You're also gonna find a cable and a clear case for the device. So even though we have the cheaper device, you do get more value for your money in the box. Since we are talking about the charger, so the Xiaomi 13 supports 67-watt fast charging, where the Samsung Galaxy S23 supports 25-watt fast charging, plus you're gonna have to buy your own charger. Now inside the Samsung Galaxy S23 we have a 3900 mAh battery, where inside the Xiaomi 13 we get a 4500 mAh battery. So even though we do have a larger battery inside the Xiaomi 13, the charging time from 0 to 100 is about 40 minutes, where the charging time for the Samsung Galaxy S23 is about an hour. Not a massive difference, only about 20 minutes, but it is nicer to have faster charging for those times when you do need to charge slightly faster because you have to go somewhere. The Xiaomi 13 also supports 50-watt wireless charging, where the S23 only supports 15-watt wireless charging. So again, I don't really have a fast wireless charger, but if I would probably use that over the wired charging. And both devices can also do reverse wireless charging, so you can basically charge other devices from them. And of course, that is also faster on the Xiaomi 13. As for the battery life on both devices, on the Samsung Galaxy S23 you can get about 7 hours of screen on time, where on the Xiaomi 13 you can get about 8 hours of screen on time. So not a massive difference, and both devices will definitely make it through an entire day of regular usage, I'm gonna say. And that regular usage does include some gaming, some camera usage and so on. So pretty good battery life on both devices. Design wise, well, hard to say which one is the better looking device. I'm gonna say that the Xiaomi 13 does look a lot more like an iPhone, because we do have the frame around the device that does look quite iPhone-ish, I'm gonna say. Where the Samsung Galaxy S23, I feel that it has more of its own personality. So maybe the Xiaomi 13 is kind of a combination of a Samsung device and an iPhone, where the Galaxy S23 does have its own design language, I'm gonna say. As for the back, the way the camera systems look on the back, maybe I prefer the S23, but definitely leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Which ones do you prefer, the Xiaomi 13 or the Galaxy S23? The way they look, at least the back. Turning the devices around, both devices do have flat screens, and I'm very happy to see that. I was kind of getting tired of those curved screens on flagships. So they both look really nice. Now, on the Samsung Galaxy S23, we have a 6.1 inches screen, where on the Xiaomi 13, we have a 6.36 inches screen. Now, size-wise, I do feel that the Xiaomi 13 is the better size. I feel that all phones should have this size for the screen. 6.1 is almost too small, slightly too small. I feel that the 6.36 inches size is the perfect size, but what do you guys think? Now, for brightness, so both devices, of course, use Amoled screens. For brightness, they both have 1200 nits, go figure. But for the peak brightness, the Xiaomi 13 has 1900 nits, where the Samsung Galaxy S23 does have 1750. Now, in real life, you can't really tell the difference. So if you take the phones outside on a sunny day, you can still see the screen really well on both devices. So I can't really say which screen looks the best. And unfortunately, on camera, you're not going to be able to capture how nice these screens actually look. But I do prefer the size of the screen of the Xiaomi 13. They even have the same camera cutout at the top. We do have a 32 megapixel sensor on the Xiaomi and a 12 megapixel sensor on the Samsung Galaxy S23. And I've actually done a full camera comparison between the Xiaomi 13, the Samsung Galaxy S23 and my iPhone 14 Pro. And I will leave a link to that in the video's description or the top right corner. So if you want to see a variety of pictures and videos that I took with all three devices, definitely check out that camera comparison. Now, both devices also have dual speakers, so one at the top on both of them and one at the bottom. It's kind of hard to say which one has the better speakers. They sound fairly similar, I'm gonna say. I'm gonna play a short recording here so you can see how the speakers sound on the microphone, but in reality they both sound better than what you're about to hear. So let me play that. So which one do you think has the better speakers, the Xiaomi 13 or the Samsung Galaxy S23? Alright, since we have them on their backs here, so the backs are glass on both of them, even though on the Samsung Galaxy S23 you're not gonna get as many fingerprints. So something to keep in mind, because the Xiaomi 13 always looks dirty, at least the back there. Now, the camera systems on their backs are also quite similar. So the main camera is a 50 megapixel sensor on both devices. Then we have the ultra-wide cameras on both devices. And then we have a 3x zoom telephoto lens on the S23 and a 3.2 times zoom telephoto lens on the Xiaomi 13. So very similar camera systems, I'm gonna say. Now, these are some sample pictures that I took with these two devices, but as I mentioned earlier, I did do a full camera comparison. So if you wanna see some sample videos at different resolutions, I will include the link to that camera comparison in the video's description or the top right corner. These are just some examples that I took with these two devices, just so you can see in this video. But overall, I feel that the Samsung Galaxy S23 does do a better job at pictures and videos, at least in my opinion. But definitely check out that video and let me know your thoughts. Now, performance-wise, it is tough to say, hey, this phone is faster or this phone is faster, because both devices do feel extremely quick. Keep in mind that the Samsung Galaxy S23 can only be bought with 8 gigs of RAM, where of course with the Xiaomi 13 you can get 12 gigs of RAM. So 12 gigs of RAM will come in handy in some situations, but other than that I haven't really noticed a difference for speed or the way these two phones perform. So they're both running Android 13, of course. With the Samsung Galaxy S23 you got One UI, which is Samsung's UI, which kind of feels a bit, I don't know, it's getting old. Nothing has really changed in a while, at least in my eyes. Where the Xiaomi 13 you do get MIUI 14, and I do feel that MIUI has a few more features than One UI. But which one do you guys prefer? Do you prefer MIUI or One UI? Definitely leave a comment and let me know your thoughts. Personally, I prefer the front of the Xiaomi, the frame of the Xiaomi. I do love this screen size. This is like the perfect screen size in my opinion. But I do prefer the back of the S23 and the camera system that we have on the S23. So it would be nice if we could get some elements from the S23 and some from the Xiaomi 13 and make like the perfect phone. But definitely leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts about these two devices. Alright guys, hopefully this video was useful. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one.